Hello everyone and welcome down the Bitcoin Rabbit Hole. I'm Roxy and today I'm super excited to bring you the first interview of this channel. I'm with Alexandre. Alexandre, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Roxy.
Warning, falling down the Bitcoin rabbit hole brings freedom. So Alexandre is the founder of Sato, a solution to mine some Bitcoin directly from your home using your boiler. So you're basically going to use the same energy that you're using to boil your water, your hot water, but use that to mine some Bitcoin at the same time. It's a really ingenious solution to have some non-KYC Bitcoin in a dollar cost average directly from home, and I'm super excited for this interview. Alexandre, thank you for being here. Maybe could you start by just introducing yourself and Sato and the company, please?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So thank you again to have me here. I'm very glad to have this interview with you. My name is Alexandre Vino, and I'm co-founder of Wise Mining. Our goal basically is to push Bitcoin mining at home because by the very nature of Bitcoin mining, we think there is an opportunity for everyone who has a house and the heating needs to take advantage of the heat produced by Bitcoin mining hardware. I'm also a mechanical and industrial engineer and a Bitcoiner from 2013. More especially, I was mining back in 2013 with GPU. Back then, it was very early.
Lucrative too.
Sorry.
It was very lucrative too.
Yeah. Well, at the time, it was not that. It was not that easy. It was not that lucrative at the moment, but in retrospect, it was. It was really nice. It was very crazy times. I had to stop just after the MTGOX drama, so it put a stop to my operations. But our goal at Press Mining is to bring mining as it was before, and we have a strong thesis about that when we think by reusing the heat from waste energy that we use in mining can bring it back to home because the heat is useful here.
So the whole concept here, if I got it correctly, is to really bring Bitcoin mining to everyone. I mean, everyone needs to heat their home. Everyone needs to do that. If you ever mined like you did back in the day, you know that mining produce a lot of heat and make some noise. Those are the two main things, and most of the time that heat is just wasted because you spend electricity to mine Bitcoin, you get the Bitcoin, all right, cool. But there's a lot of cost associated with that, which is the cost of energy that is wasted. And one of the big criticism of Bitcoin is that Bitcoin wastes energy. You know, it's like, oh, it's going to be a disaster for the ecology. But you believe, and I know because we've talked before, that Sato could be a solution because at the same time it's going to reduce this misconception that it is waste energy, because the energy shouldn't be wasted. It should be re-exploited to like both the water, for example, and also it's going to destroy the myth that Bitcoin is super centralized as mining, since like you say, even though it's not CPU, we can bring back a more decentralized mining to everyone. So where does the Sato project was born? Like where did it begin? Because I'm guessing, like looking at the website for those who can see it, it's not just a little thing. It's actually with a lot of product and development. So I'm guessing it's something that took some time to create, to engineer. Could you talk a little bit about this adventure of yours to get to that solution?
Yeah, of course. So basically, we were doing hardware innovation for the housing sector from since 2016. So at the time we were not in mining stuff, but we already have this knowledge about the houses and heating rocks in houses. In 2018, we thought that the wasted heat from mining hardware could represent a competitive advantage if exploited properly. There is a lot of technical challenges because, as you said, you have a lot of noise when you operate ASICs without modifying anything. And at the time, ASICs were just entering a new era where the life expectancy just began to reach few years. with the Antminer S9. But back in 2018, it was not something we knew. In retrospect, it's more easy, way more easier. And also mining has also many specifics that you have to take into account, like the fact that the ASICs have some depreciation. The idea came back in 2018, and we started really to put full steam on this in January 2020. So it basically it's when we started a strong R&D, and now 1 year later we are ready for our first pre-sale of Sato that will be shipped in end of 2021. But yeah, it needed a lot of time.
Yeah,
It's not something that came in 2 to 3 months.
yeah, I'm guessing is like you have a lot of constraint, even though we're talking about like expensive equipment and water. So like if you messed up at some part of the process, then all of your graphic card, basically, well, it's not graphic card, we all know that, but all your ASICs and hashboard could be damaged or
Yes.
make pointless. And when you have to invest, because it's an investment, right? I mean, Sato, we're going to talk about the price and the product a little bit after, but you need to understand that for anyone that is new to Bitcoin, and I know my channel has a lot of beginners, and this video could be more extreme, but it's okay. Bitcoin mining is not that easy. It is something that nowadays is quite expensive. You have an initial cost of investing, simply because, well, you need to produce a lot of hash rate to be competitive. And even though it can be achieved from home, you still need to buy some equipment that is not going to be only like $50, you know. So if you're going to start thinking about mining, you need to at least put an investment down of, I'd say at least 1K easily, and it can easily ramp up to more than $10,000. So you really need to plan ahead. And like you said, if you don't have a lot of research and development, then it's not gonna work out. I've got a question.
I can add that the challenge here is that we thought about Sato, which is a boiler. We will explain later. I think it's a boiler that use Bitcoin mining heat to heat to space heating on the hot water. And the challenge is that when you bought a boiler or a furnace or a hot water tank, you expect it to have a life expectancy at least of 10 years and more 20 years. For those that mined before, mining constantly for 20 years, it's quite a challenge. So yeah, it's not as easy as it seems. Even if ASICs are way more simpler than the GPU, for those that know that as well.
Yeah, it's a great point. Also, something you've mentioned earlier, and it's often another misconception of the whole ecological debate about Bitcoin, is that ASIC mining now they have a way longer life expectation span than before. So while back then you had to change your ASICs quite regularly, nowadays you can still mine with ASICs that are like 2-3 years old, which makes Sato a possible solution. I'm guessing that before it was almost impossible because you had to like run up faster than the development of ASICs, which is
exactly
kind of crazy, knowing the old logistic, which we're going to come after. Nowadays, you can be set for like 2-3 years, 4 years, and forget. You have your dollar cost average Bitcoin non-KYC, which is what most Bitcoiner wants, to be fair, and then you have to upgrade at some point. So maybe can we talk about the product? So we've explored like what is the main purpose of it. So it's a machine that is connected to your boiler. So the electricity goes through, mine some Bitcoin instead of hitting the water, and it's that heat generated by the mining of the fact that you mine Bitcoin that's going to be reused with compensator to boil the water. So go ahead, explain to everyone what is Sato, how does it work, and I will let you on the technical side. I will try to show the website because you have done a pretty good job explaining the whole mining and how Sato is connected. So just go ahead, feel free to go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I will say the exact definition and the smaller one we we found is that SATO is a supplemental combi boiler for houses equipped with water-based central heating systems. So with SATO, it's a combi boiler, so it means that you do space heating by connecting it to water radiators or a floor heating system, and you produce hot water. So you can make both. It's common in some countries to have the same heat generator for both hot water and space heating. As I said, it's for water-based central heating systems. So if you have electric heaters, independent electric heaters in each rooms, or if you have air-based central heating system with furnace, SATO will not be compatible, unfortunately. So all of that, it's this boiler. It's using only the heat generated by Bitcoin mining hardware, which is what we call ASICs, or you can call it hashboards as well. It's the real piece of hardware that count. It's what makes the hashes. So SATO is a boiler that mines Bitcoin, meaning it earns Bitcoin by providing computing power to the Bitcoin network and securing the transactions in the protocol. So what is not well known is that hashboards or ASICs converts almost all of the electricity it consumes in heat. And we speak about 99.9999% of conversion rate. So it's something a lot of people are don't realize or think it's don't trust it. But yeah, you can verify it. I can assure you that when you put 1 kilowatt of energy in an ASIC, you will have 1 kilowatt of heat generated by it. It's science. It's how it works basically. You have to transform energy when you put it on a system. So if this energy has to go somewhere. So either is a magnetic field or heat or movement, mechanical movement. So what you have in ASIC's case is just heat. So SATO exploits this phenomenon and transfers this heat to conventional home heating systems with a very good efficiency. To know how to take this heat and transfer it to something that you have already in your house. So the heating, so the radiators, everything. So yeah, it has to be compatible with everything.
Awesome. So I think it's pretty clear. So it's obvious, and it's obvious. I mean, it's obvious for us, people that are in Bitcoin and have spent like hundreds and thousands of hours studying. But for everyone that is new, he does say the truth, and I'm sure we can find some link and article to link you to. When you mine Bitcoin, you literally create energy. Like you transform 99%. There's no waste because you cannot waste energy. It's just getting transformed anyway. You said that it is connected to your central boiler, so to heat the electrical fans or everything. Does that mean we can connect it to almost any system that need heating? So like a house, like a full building with like different apartments with maybe a central heating plant. So I'm thinking of a business model where you either have like a swimming pool or you have like a whole building and you are renting every single apartment within it. Can you just plug SATO with that and have like an extra income from that investment, possibly? Or I'm thinking about like more bigger scale building that need heating, like companies building, furniture, home office depot. All of those buildings need heating. As long as you need to heat something, you can basically plug a SATO or at least like a Bitcoin mining machine in an ingenious way to get to the same result. Is that correct? So is SATO really like for everyone?
Not exactly,
Alright.
because for such for very big facilities with a lot of apartments, for example, if you speak about a housing building, you will be better off with a solution that is made for such amount of power. And to be fair, we started our R&D with such a product, but we pivoted away from this. But yeah, you can always put some Satos in series. It's more for individual houses, even if big ones. But no, Sato is not for that. But if you have a house and a swimming pool, it's very good. It's a very good match. Because sometimes you will you have areas in the world where people have to heat their swimming pool in summer. So in that case, it's very nice for them. And well, more broadly, Satos need some requirements, as you noticed. So you need to have an existing water-based heating system, which means you have radiators plus a functioning boiler. You also need to have an existing water heater. It can be the same as the boiler for space heating if you already have a combi, and you also will need like 2 square meters of space installation, which is not a lot really. But yeah, you need these requirements because as I said, it's a supplemental boiler. So Sato can't replace one boiler and run alone. It can be a drawback for some, but if you have already an existing installation, it's like when you add solar heating panels. It's not the photovoltaic one; it's the one when you take heat from the sun. So yeah, also to have very nice results, and if you want to be sure to not have a hard time to pay back your investment, we also advise that you own a house that with at least 120 square meters of heated space, because if you are in a very isolated flat, you basically don't spend a lot for heating. Sato is not made for very small heating needs, so it's quite important for people to know that. But if you meet these requirements, we are very confident to say that Sato will give you tremendous returns and is definitely a good investment for you.
Yeah, so let's. That was actually my next question, because from what I got, maybe it's gonna be a lot of questions at once. So, is Sato profitable? That's the biggest question everyone has. How long would it take to have some return of investment? I know it's a hard question because no one knows the price of Bitcoin. You also need to consider that those Bitcoin will be non-KYC. So if you declare them, you have to have a specific tax situation. I don't know for the rest of the world. I'm speaking only for the French people, but I'm guessing this video is not meant for them. And other question, Sato, like you said, doesn't replace a boiler. So it's really important that people understand that it's like an extra combination with your home furniture to mine some Bitcoin. So you need the hashboard, right? Because Sato is only the mechanism to connect everything together. But then you need to get the hashboard somehow. For people that are not familiar with mining, this could be trivial. So 2 questions. How profitable can be Sato, and maybe some tips or forecast. I know even though the price of Bitcoin is very volatile and none of those are financial advice, of course. And how, if we want to get started, how can we find some hashboard? What is the total cost of the installation? Maybe go ahead and talk about how much Sato costs. So if I take basically the cost of Sato, I take the hashboard, how long to set up everything, and then how long to be profitable. Big question, but I'm sure you have the answer.
I will start. I will start with the is Sato profitable for you? So yeah, as you said, you always have the Bitcoin price variable, but in mining, you have if you are in the good conditions, you basically are not as sensible of the Bitcoin price as you can be. because if you are among the miners that have a very low electricity cost, if you are a miner that need to pay for electricity, your problem if Bitcoin is too low in price is that you will not be able to pay the bills, your electricity bills with the Bitcoin you earn. When you are mining at home, Sato is profitable in the sense that we use expenses that already exist, and we use the most part to mining Bitcoin as well. So your personal economic equation, is really good, as you don't spend electricity just for mining, but for heating as well. So in that aspect, you will always you will not stop heating because the Bitcoin price is low. So that means that when the times are really hard for miners, they will start to stop machines, and the global will decelerate or even going lower. And at this moment, you will start to earn more Bitcoin. So if as you are long term, it will be very beneficial for you.
So let me get for everyone to understand, because again, there's a lot of new person in my audience. It's really important what you just said. Mining with Sato, you will not be running the equipment 24/7, right? Because you don't need hot water every time, but you will not have to sell those Bitcoin to pay basically for the electricity, because it's the same cost as before. Well, miners nowadays, if they do not sell their Bitcoin, at some point they will go bankrupt because they have expensive costs. And if they do not sell their Bitcoin, they're just gonna order through the dip and through the dip. But at some point they need to capitalize, and it's usually the bottom of the bear market, because at that point they are the last sailors because they need to pay their charges. Well, we Sato, because we're like on the small scales, and at least and we don't like use electricity that is not needed. We only use the electricity that we need to heat our home, so the same bill as before. We do not need to sell. So beside the original investment of Sato, you do not need extra money to make it run. Is that correct?
Yeah. Right. And I will add that in summer, at least in a temperature climate, you will not mine, or you will just mine for hot water, but it will represent like 10% of your mining capacity. And in winter, you will mine at 100%. And we aim to put the exact power of mining power in your Sato to aim for an all year uptime of 70%. So the uptime is the amount of time when your mining hardware is running on a yearly basis. But even with this lower uptime, you will easily pay back your machines because you don't pay an extra charge for electricity. So if you are in the good condition, as we said, meaning if you have already existing consumption, if you have a house that is big enough, you will be able to pay back Sato plus the ASICs plus the installation cost in 4 to 5 years. So you can have this number in your head, and Sato is here for 20 years. At least. So it represents basically one generation of hashboard. So after one generation of hashboard, you paid Sato plus the hashboard, the actual hashboard, and and after that you will just have to pay for another hashboard, but you will need to pay back only them and not Sato, because it's already done after 5 years. So concerning uptime, we have some good solutions to boost it further, and aim for the almighty 100%. But we will announce them soon. But we have some solution to boost it further.
I'm gonna play a devil advocate here, but we agreed that to get that sort of rentability and enable like to have basically a return on investment soon enough, the big aspect is also to consider the price at which you get your hashboard or ASICs, because
Yeah.
Sato is a price, but during the bull run, for those who mine or know it, the price of ASICs or hashboard have been rising like crazy. It's like 20, even 10x, 5x. So there's also a compromise to make, that if you get your Bitcoin equipment to mine before the bull run, it will be way more profitable than if you buy them nowadays at a really high
Yeah.
price.
Yeah.
And you will need to change them anyway because you're still buying high price for the past generation. Is that correct? And question: so can Sato, because I'm guessing you are still a startup, so can you help people get their i6 board? We know we have like a shortage of equipment nowadays.
Yeah.
How hard would it be for someone completely new to mining to get started? And do you think Sato is meant for the people that have already some experience with mining? Because we haven't talked, and maybe we can talk about it later. You also need to like plug to a pool, because you're not going to be mining by yourself, right?
Yeah.
Maybe can we go on that side of the business?
Yeah. Of course. And so it's really talk about hashboards because it's a part of Sato. We obviously bring. It's included in a service for the hashboards, and it's included in the price of Sato. So basically, what we do is what we don't. We don't put you in the wild and tell you, well, do as you please with the hashboards, and we don't take care of this. No, we don't do that. What we do, it's that it's our job to find what ASIC to put in your Sato, and we take care of this. Actually, we just we what we do, we can buy boards with volume and get better prices on the reseller market, and you will profit from our network of professional suppliers. So it's one way to put it. I have to add that we don't take a margin on the sale of a hashboard, of a ASICs. So you really have it on the bulk price. So you can save some $1,000 with that. And also, as you said, we are a particular ASIC is not always a smart buy, depending on your mining conditions. And sometimes it's better to wait until the market conditions are good for you, and being ready to look at second-hand models if needed. So what we do is we have a good experience and a good understanding of the ASIC market, and we have a way to find if one price is good for this ASIC. And we do also all this insight we have, we transfer it to you by just propose you to buy ASIC based on the best deals we find. I don't know if it's clear, but
it's clear. And so looking at your website.
So yeah, basically we take care of everything, and after you buy Sato, 2 to 3 months before shipping Sato to you, we will come back with an offer for the ASICs, and we will propose you sometimes 1 or 2 scenarios, and we will never propose you to buy an ASIC if we already know that you will never pay back it. And as you say, sometimes it's better even to wait for market conditions to be smoother, because when you have a very big bull market, it's sometimes difficult to have a good offer. So yeah, we want to protect our customer from bad choices on the hashboards, because it's in mining. I will say that you have two ways of doing it very badly. The first is that you have a very high cost of electricity. I'm talking for professional and industrial
Yeah.
one. The equation is not the same for you because it's
Yeah,
you.
like we said, electricity is going to be the same cost anyway.
Yeah. But for an industrial miner, the thing is that the main things are you have to fail is that you have too high cost of electricity and you are bad at the ASIC market and you buy them not at the
Yeah.
good moment and you make poor choice about it. So we don't want our customer to make poor choices about ASIC. So it's I repeat it again. It's included in the price, and we take care of it. You don't have to make your own research on that.
Also, yeah, so looking at the website, I see that you have basically the whole so support to send the ASICs and then you get back the old ASICs. One
Yeah.
of the big drawback I have when so you may guess like everyone in Bitcoin, we often have to explain why it's not a waste of energy, why it doesn't going to destroy the planet. That's only Nikoto that is going to do that because he's an evil man. But there's also the big aspect of recycling ASICs, which is not that easy to justify. You have decided to take back the ASICs, so you are buying back or you're taking back the old ASICs, which
Yeah.
is part of like the whole customer service that you have. So I have two questions on that. Why do you do that? And is it just because like you can recycle them because you have that like you need to understand that I mean talking to you, I understand your vision. Your past company were about saving in energy. It was always about making an ecological change of the world because it is
Yes.
important. Sato is one more step of that bulk of action that we need to take, and Bitcoin is going to help ensure a better future. At least that's what we Bitcoiners believe. So part of that is also taking back the old ASICs out of the market. And what do you do with them? Like what's the game here?
Yeah. Well, with all ASIC, if you choose based maybe on our console or advices or advices, if we can propose you to sell us back your old ASICs because we will find for you another buyer for second-hand ASICs. So either there are buyers for your old ASICs, and we take care and we give you a cashback, or yeah, they're simply not used anymore, and we recycle them because you have a lot of aluminum in them, and so there is as we will receive we potentially receive a lot of hashboards. We have incentives to recycle especially the aluminum, which is in the heat sinks you have in the hashboard.
All right, awesome. Just to make sure, and I know it's important for Bitcoin, or if you don't know, it is important. Privacy is key for Bitcoin because even though maybe you live in a great country where they let you do everything you want, most of the people in the world are not. They're living under dictatorship, and getting access to Bitcoin is hard. That's why non-KYC is important, and that's why mining from home could be a solution. How can you ensure that those people that are getting Bitcoin, so mining equipment, Sato, are not linked through the supply chain and can have a safer way to mine non-KYC Bitcoin? I know it's more Bitcoin maximalist, hardcore, but it's in your vision because when we search your website, you have a true Bitcoiner vision. You care about privacy. You are open source. Maybe you can talk a bit about that. And
Yeah.
obviously, well, we care about climate change through Bitcoin because we believe in Bitcoinization. Also, for anyone that it wasn't clear, if you are getting into Sato or literally like plugging some mining equipment to your boiler, it's because you are already pretty hardcore with Bitcoin and you believe in the vision. Every miner usually have a long-term horizon, like any hodlers. So if
Yeah.
you're here for the short-term gain, I don't think it's a product for you. Maybe I'm confused, but from what you said, a return investment on 5 years and then
Yeah.
an equipment that's going to work 20 years is not really a Bitcoiner vision. So can you talk a bit about yeah, all of that Bitcoiner philosophy. Are you a Bitcoiner hardcore? You've been here for some times. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. It's good that you talk about privacy because I we really think it's something that a lot of companies are not taking it seriously, and we are at Wise Mining because we really think that privacy is embedded in the Bitcoin philosophy, and we really think it could be it's really good to keep it that way. So at all level, we want you to be able to mine Bitcoin without having someone that knows it and that can give the information to someone else. So we have some we will produce some guides for that because there is also basically we are selling hardware, so we can't really just take an email and send you the Sato because it's a physical product, and we have to deliver it somewhere. And until delivery, we have to we can have a way to reach you out if there is an update or a problem. With an email, it's okay, but we need an actual address, and you need to receive it. So what we want to do, it's giving you some guidance, so you don't it's better if you don't put your real address when we deliver Sato. And for that, there is something which is I think very cool, is that you can put your contractor address, because someone will have to install your Sato, and you will have to choose a contractor. So if you tell us to ship the Sato to your contractor, you will not have your address, and it will be okay for this part. So it will mitigate the fact that someone can know that you. And also we have the invoicing part. We are a company, so we have some obligations. We don't have to do KYC AML in the banking as banking products do, but we just have to have a name and an address for invoicing. It's all what we need, and for that, I know it's a bit complicated, but if you really care about your privacy, you already know that you need to put some effort to it. But you can always have a company or put someone else's name, and as well you can mitigate your personal information by giving us an holding company name or something like that. I think you have someone like Jameson Lopp that did this. Do you recall something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was at Hodl 2018. He had a
yeah,
whole speech about privacy and
yeah,
how to get like real private. End of the cost, it's really expensive to be fully private,
yeah.
and it does require some time, but it is achievable.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a well. I just spoke about for the from us. Obviously, we if we will have to store the invoicing details, and the shipping details. We don't have to store it after it's shipped if it succeed. So well, every time we have an information that is not needed anymore, we will anonymize it or just destroy the information. And of course, yeah, we will take extra care for this personal information if we have it. But for the invoicing, we have to I think we have to keep it for 20 years. So yeah, there is always we obviously will not put it give it to a third party, but we can be summoned to do it by authority. So you have to be aware of that if you are really hardcore about about privacy. yeah, if you don't if you don't want to be that hardcore, just know that it will be it will always be something that is non KYC. You will not give us your ID. Well, we will not have to check something on you. We will not refuse you based on AML guidance, etc.
All right, awesome. So that's on the privacy side. It's really important, guys. You need to understand that privacy is a fundamental right to human being, and we cannot have a free society without privacy. It is not I have nothing to hide, so why do you need privacy? That is bullshit completely. Privacy should be by default, and we need to fight for that. The second point of Bitcoin is usually open source. I know you do have basically all your documentation accessible. I've downloaded here the PDF so people can see. So from your website, we can have access to the technical aspect of the product. Can you talk a bit about why did you decide to be open source, even though you did a lot of research and development? How much private open source are you? I know it's hard for a company to give all of its information. I'd be really curious to know what are you doing at this regard.
Yeah, I will. I have to put some details on it, because if you look at our website, you will see it's not as flagrant. It's not obvious. But we don't say it really in our website for now, because we are simply not ready. We didn't put everything on paper and easy for reviewing from people. But if you check on the terms and conditions, you will see that license is GPL. But yeah, what we want to do is to be open software, of course, and also open hardware. We do this because we really think that if we give to people the right to build upon Sato, it will be a win-win for everyone. We will not have the resources to do everything. I spoke a lot with people that wanted to do GPU mining, for example, and not ASIC mining. It's really different things. But for those that want, for example, to do GPU, if you want, you will have access to a lot of technical details on CAD files, and you will be able to make your own solutions. And why not sell it to everyone, like GPU adapters for Satos, and you are free to do that. And I think it's really beneficial. Also, I think we are in a culture of don't trust, verify. So at least for the software part, I think you can't really imagine someone that puts a closed software that mine Bitcoin.
That's never gonna work.
You see, you can easily shadow mine in the for you as a company, for your clients. So you have to. I know not everyone is able to verify it, but as well, I think there is always someone that puts some efforts to retro-engineer the thing, and that will discover that there is nothing shady on the mining software aspect. So yeah, for the software, it's more easier than hardware, because just put the GitHub and put the source code in here. So yeah, for now it's not settled. We are really focused on our pre-sale for now. Because if there is no pre-sale, there is no product at all. So we don't have the time for now to push everything on a GitHub. But it will come next. And for the hardware, I think there will be some files in the GitHub as well. But we will go with a more it will be like like a delayed open source. We don't want everyone to just copy everything on like just like that before we shipped the product. So we will open source things that we think are very nice for people to have early, and because especially for the where you can interfacing the ASICs or the GPUs, because if someone want to make the SATO compatible with another ASIC model that we don't support, you can do right away. So it's nice for that. And we will open some parts which are more technical and have some secret ingredients in the heat exchanger or on the two-phase immersion cooling stuff. We will open it after we ship the product, just for us to have an advance on the market. So we want to be full open source on the hardware side, but with a slight delay for us to benefit from our own work before. But after, if we want people to build something that add value, we don't want people that just do a copy, cut the margin and benefit from our work without having to do all the R&D failures that cost a lot. It's quite simple, but I hope it's clear for someone, because for some people, because it can seem like it's not open source at all. But yeah, for me it is. As soon as you publish the thing, after the product is in the air. I know there is in hardware you have when you push some the designs, you need sometimes to find the suppliers, to find the people that would actually make the product. So well, there is we want to keep event last product.
Yeah,
but,
I understand.
But for example, what we will do is that we already have some prototypes, and for I know we will publish some early prototypes of SATO, because as I said, we know we have an advance on these prototypes, so but it will also show to people that we have some knowledge about how to do this stuff, and it will maybe bring some ideas. So yeah, you see I think you see the point.
Yeah, of course. For everyone that is wondering, obviously all the links are going to be down in the description, and the website has some FAQ, some notice and everything. In addition to the FAQ, obviously you have a Discord where you can ask all the questions directly to Alexander. If you want to have him on your podcast, you show YouTube, feel free to contact him. I'm sure you're going to be okay. And thanks a lot for making the effort to do it in English. As you know, I have the same channel in French and Spanish. I don't know if you speak Spanish, but we already made this interview in French. I just think it's important that this type of project are broadly discussed, because it is a crucial part of understanding the myth about the Bitcoin ecology and how this ecosystem is growing. Like I always say in my course, Bitcoin is a new technology that is going to evolve into a multi-trillion-dollar network, taking everything, creating some new job, new opportunity, and we need to get interesting. So obviously follow him on Twitter and Discord. And now I want to say two things. As we were recording, the price of Bitcoin hit all-time high. We just crossed 60K. That's why we were laughing just before. Pretty impressive, eh? So 63K right now. Awesome for all the hodlers. Congratulations on you. You deserve that. Let's talk about pricing now. I think it's what is important, because you have a pre-sale like you discussed. I understand why it's expensive, especially when you do hardware. For everyone not familiar, you have a big difference between hardware and software technology. One can be scaled up really easily. The other is way harder because you literally need components. So talk a bit about the pre-sale, the price of Sato, what does it include. I see that you have a community sales, what that is. Go ahead. I will, as always, put the website and some info as you talk. I will let you pitch your product.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so for now, Sato is on website, wisemining.io, for 9,000 euros, shipping and tax included. You will need, depending also on your home, between 3 to 5k euros for mining hardware. So it's the hashboard or the as we talked about earlier. So I repeat, as I said, we take care of finding the hardware for you or make you offers for that. So you don't have, I repeat, you don't have to find your own hardware, but we give you a sense of the prices that which is needed for them. And you will also need to take into account approximately 1k euros for the installation cost. So in total, you will need to pay between 13 to 15,000 euros for the total installation. For now, we have a special offer for those that join our Discord, our community, as we call it, where you can get a 15% discount on Sato's price. So for now, it's still on for 6 or 7 days, I guess. So well, don't take too long, as we already have booked a third of the actual batch. So yeah, I also have to say that we plan to sell only 100 units for this pre-sale. So if you're really interested, don't wait. Come to us on Twitter or on our Discord, or check our website, and we answer every question you can have. So yeah, we have we don't want people to buy it without knowing exactly what it's doing, if it will be profitable for them. Of course, at such a price, it's better to take some time to make your decision. But well, don't wait. If you really think it's for you, we will confirm with you. We will do a lot of we can do a custom analysis of your profitability. So just check on us and ask us everything.
Awesome. Yeah, 1/3. That's pretty good. Since last time we talked, I had no idea how much how was the pre-order going. I think it's pretty clear on the price. So basically, if you don't have any equipment, it's gonna be basically 15k. More or less, you have to consider a budget of 50k as an investment for return of investment throughout 4 years in Bitcoin. I'm guessing it's payable in Bitcoin, and the return are in Bitcoin as a non-KYC dollar cost average Bitcoin, which is always nice. Payable in Bitcoin.
I just want to add a number for people to really understand how much Bitcoin we're talking about. Just for you to know, if you mined with Sato in not that big, in a standard house for four to 5 people, from 2017 until today, you would have mined 2 whole bitcoins. So well, as we pass the all-time high now, well, you can see in the past it did very well. Just for you to have this sense of how much you can get, to put it in perspective with the total installation cost of Sato. We have some simulations for how it will be for the next years. But so you just check on our website. But well, it's always nice to see that in the past as well it did very well.
Yeah, of course. Again, I have to disclose that obviously past performance are not performance of the future. Yeah. We don't know where Bitcoin is going. Personally, I'm thinking it's going to the moon. But we could be wrong. We could go for bear market, and in that case, you will just be mining cheaper Bitcoin, waiting to accumulate more sats. So for me, basically, it's a win-win. Two questions. Payable in Bitcoin, I'm guessing?
Yeah, you can pay in Bitcoin. You can pay in euro. Spread it into on 3 to 5 payments if you want. It's a scoop for you. It's not totally disclosed, but we of course a lot of people don't want to give the Bitcoin right now with the bull market. So we are willing to find a way to give them an offer where they can give us as a collateral the Bitcoins for Sato and for Sato, and we make a contract where we will look at the price of Bitcoin in a few months, like I don't know, like in December or 2021 or September, if you want, and we will depending on the price of Bitcoin at that time, we will just take from the collateral the amount we need for the in euros for the cost of Sato and give you back the remaining Bitcoins. I think for now it's a mandatory feature to have. We, to be fair, we wanted to do this totally trustless with DLCs. I will not explain that because
it's too complicated. Yeah.
I contacted many people on this space, and they said that the specifications are really restriction and the implementation is too much experimental. So I just can do it with if you are willing to trust us. So it will be a contract between you and us on this matter. But it's I think it can be really cool. We will disclose this later. We will maybe charge it a bit, like 5% more, but yeah. So yeah, you can pay Bitcoin, and you will probably be able to pay it to put Bitcoin in collateral and pay it later. I don't know if it's clear this part for you. But...
Yeah, it's pretty clear for me. I hope it's clear for the audience. It is a really smart and it is a smart move. I just showed everyone the video of you constructing the prototype. So yeah. I think we're getting to the end of this interview. It's pretty clear what the product is. To recap, it's a great way to mine Bitcoin from home for no extra cost except the initial, obviously, investment. You get some Bitcoin. It's awesome. Non-KYC, of course, but you have to declare. You can choose which mining pool. I'm guessing we haven't talked too much on the specific details. You have to get the equipment in addition. Pre-sale for now, basically 15K. If you have nothing, if you already have some Bitcoin device, when you receive Sato, you can straight up plug it, which is quite good, I guess. Delivered US and Europe.
Europe. North America. The shipping is for December 2021. We try our best to ship it earlier, but December is at least in temperate climate. It's the beginning of the winter when it gets really cold. So we want our people to have their first winter with Sato, their next winter with Sato.
Awesome. Let's close it here, I guess. Maybe where can people contact you? Or what is the best way to get in touch with your team if they have any question? Obviously, you can leave a comment, and I will translate. I will forward the comment to you. Please like, subscribe if you're new to this channel. It's an educational channel about Bitcoin, really made for beginners. I kind of stopped making too much video in English because, time is scarce, as you know, especially in book run. But I'm glad I have this video for you in this channel. Alexandre, thank you so much. How can people contact you? And if you have a last word, go ahead.
Yeah, well, you can follow us on Twitter at wise_mining. You can go to our website at wisemining.io, subscribe our newsletter, or find an invite link for our Discord server. And we answer every question you can have. You don't hesitate, even if you think it's a really beginner or there is no dumb question. questions. We are very well. We take care of you if you are interested. So yeah, it's basically our channels for now. And well, I want to thank you for this interview in English. I think it's the first when I speak in English, so I think it will be very nice for a lot of people. So yeah, thank you again, and I hope you will find this very interesting for you. There is we have a lot of to disclose as well. So yeah, don't hesitate to join us.
Awesome. Alexander, thank you so much for being here. All the viewers that stick by, thank you. If you have any question, go ahead. I will close it here. Feel free to ask, subscribe, like all the LTR, dollar cost average. Try to go through non-KYC solution. And that's it. See you guys. Bye-bye. Thanks, Alexander.
Bye.
Everybody will have to make a choice. Ignore Bitcoin or adopt it. What's going to be yours?